from my trip. It's Wednesday. I'm just going to say hi, Facebook peeps. Wait, hello, Instagram people, and hello, YouTubers. And also hello, podcast, because I'm recording this and it will go on my podcast. And you're probably thinking, if you don't already know, I have a few things on the go. I've got a YouTube channel, a podcast channel, and I'm just sharing if you are kind of joining me for the first time. I've been going on this like self-development, self-journey for for a few months now, and it's been quite fast and rapid, and things are changing because I'm choosing to let them change, and I'm choosing not to think that it's going to take me a long time. I'm just like choosing to step in, and sometimes I trip up, but I keep going with the whole thing because I am I keep choosing to believe that it is all going to work out, which kind of relies and it all ties into this conversation around choices, because we have choices every single day, and every single moment of our day we choose to be happy or we choose to be sad about something, and it's all let me drop a little like wave if you can hear me, drop a hi if you can hear me in your if this is all going okay. I had technical difficulties. I needed to download Chrome for some reason all of a sudden. So I'm just like, I'm amazed that I'm like here in this moment. Also, throughout this conversation, if you're like, aha, me too, I get it, with you, feel free to leave comments. I will read them all at the end and maybe address them if they come up that's like relevant, and just you can even just be like, heck yes. But this conversation around so the past 5 weeks really happened, today's conversation about the choices and the fear that I have around them and that you might have around them, and why do we have this fear around them. And this fear of making them, if that's something, if you're that person that you're like, I have fear around choosing, or you might not even know that it's fear around choosing this, and it fuels this fear around making a choice fuels my impatientness, which is something that I've been told over and over again. And you're like, whoa, you got a lot of things there. Yeah, if you go to my website, you can connect with everything really easily. And I'm excited for Friday. I'll be publishing Bali Part 1 on YouTube. Episode 8 on the Local Movement podcast is all about a recap of the trip. Blah, blah, blah. Hi everybody, how are you guys doing today? I'm just waiting for a hey Instagram. Hey guys, I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you are tuning in, feel free to like say hello, send me a little like message, just saying that you're here, and that is great. Today's conversation is, I want to talk about choices. I posted on Instagram today about choices and the fear that I have around making them. And it was something that I discovered recently on my trip that I just went on. And yes, I am back from Ireland and Bali and all those great things. I should actually just rewind a hot second and take a moment, because yes, hi Facebook people, hi Instagram people, hello YouTube. I have a few things, and I'm also recording this as a podcast episode. The Let Go Movement podcast is live on Podbean, live on iTunes, and live on Spotify, submitting to Google Play as we speak. And then you can be able to listen to my podcast. I usually post once a week. Again, also with my YouTube channel, I post every Friday. I've been off of YouTube for the past, I guess, 5 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks. But I'll be posting part 1 of Bali this Friday. So I'm really excited. And episode 8 on the podcast is all about a recap, which some of the things on that podcast will kind of like filter into this conversation today around choices, because that's where I learned that I have a massive fear around making choices. And if you are anything like me in that way, I hear you, I feel you, and I have a way of getting out of that I've learned, that I've been implementing, and actually, surprisingly, it's really easy once you like commit to it, but it's one of the things that you find the most resistance to, because it makes you vulnerable, and that is love and trust. But scroll back a second, scroll back a hot minute here. Just getting my thoughts sorted, because I'm just feeling all the feels right now. Go back 7 weeks ago, I had an emotional code session with my practitioner, Mandy, and we talked about this thing that I have, this emotion that I keep working on about self-worth. And it was around my trip about allowing myself to love myself enough to go on this trip. If you aren't aware, I don't know how to take vacation, or at least I didn't know how to take vacation before going on this big trip. Like, when people went on vacation and like didn't answer their emails, or like I didn't understand why people went on vacation for weeks and why they weren't always like work related. And now I get it, and I want to go on more vacations, and I'm like, how do I make every work opportunity a vacation also? And if you want to travel your entire life on vacation, I'm just going to say that I 100% support that, and can you take me with you? Because the first time to show up in my life and just wake up and not worry about anything was amazing. That has not been a part of my life since I could remember. So learning how to take vacation and time off and being okay with it and not feeling guilty about missing something, or not, making an income for 5 weeks. I mean, let's talk about putting some trust in the universe that you're going to come home and you're going to be working, is a whole other story. But also link this one because it's all related. But I learned on this trip to be okay with going on vacation and having time for myself. What kind of like smacked me upside the head and gave me a good like wake up call was an intuitive reading I had with someone called Martin in Ireland. This old man, he's super hard to get an appointment with, but I got an appointment out of the blue. We called a week ahead, and I got an appointment on Thursday, the day before I left. And he didn't know my name. He didn't know that I was Canadian. He didn't know that I was on vacation. The reservation was under Kenny. My friend made it for me. And I walked in, and I sat in this chair with this fireplace beside me. And he's like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Well, I got an appointment, so that's like super cool. 222 just showed up on my phone, and that's my sign that I'm in the right place, doing the right thing. And I have a lot of things going on in my life that I would like some clarity on." And he just kind of stopped me there, and he was like, "Okay, for starters, you have 95% of your cupboard that needs to be cleaned out." And I was like, "Okay, that makes sense. Like, I'm going through a lot of things. I'm revising a lot of things." And he said, also, stop analyzing, being so critical, and like just weighing all the pros and cons all the freaking time about all the things that you want to do. Like, stop picking up the cup and looking at it 10 times. He's like, stop doing it. Just pick it up, look at it, feel it, let it go. You might throw it out of the cupboard. You might shift it around. You might put it, on a different shelf for another time. But he's like, stop taking so much time because your energy is just draining. And I was like, okay, that makes total sense. I'm sitting here in my life right now with so many different directions that I want to go on and opportunities that I want to take, but I am like being so anal about that, and I feel like I'm literally pushing a wall, and I'm on the other side of the wall pushing back because I fear making choices. There's a lot of things in my life where I could literally take, it's like a fork in the road, something that's like new and shiny, and a path that is kind of unknown. I don't know what the steps are. It's really new to me, but it's also really exciting. is going to take me from a path that I'm on right now. And that's scary. And there's some decisions that I recently made and I need to make that are going to take me a little bit further away from my norm, and ask myself to be okay with letting a part of my identity go a little bit so that I can step into like this new version of myself and go on these like new pathways, and hopefully they will come back again. Like hopefully my worlds will collide one more time. So he's like, stop stressing about it. Just feel it and choose something. And then he said to me, after that, he was like, oh, and you don't love yourself as much as you think you do. And I was like, oh, shot to the heart. Like, oh my God, you have to be kidding me. I'm doing so much work on this. Like, why are you telling me that I don't love myself? Like, I'm doing so much work. He's like, oh yeah, you're doing the work. I can see that. You're doing great work. He's like, but you don't love yourself as much as you think you do. And I was like, okay, like tears swelling in my eyes. And he's like, once you start to connect with actually loving yourself and trusting yourself, all these decisions that you have are going to come so easily to you. The mentors that you think that you need are going to come when you start easily making these decisions because you love yourself enough to trust that you're making the right choice. And then my world just blew up in that moment. Like, he said to me, he's like, you might get back in the car and like freak out and have a meltdown. And I did. Mini freak out, mini crying session. And then following that was a shit ton of writing. I've been writing in my journal, and if you follow my Instagram, I posted about this today, and I wrote something and posted on my stories a couple days ago, and that was around the reconfiguring and reprogramming of our idea and views and values around making a choice. My whole life, I've made up this story that if I make a choice and it doesn't go the way that I want it to, then I'm a failure in the negative context. Lessons have to be learnt, and I say it in that very particular tone because that's the tone that just like pokes me and like really gets me in there, and I just get upset. So if I make a choice and it doesn't go the way that I want, that I'm a failure, and that I've got lessons to learn, and there are consequences to contest you, and you basically fucked it up. You basically ruined your life. Like, that's the story that I've been telling myself for 29 years. And I realized that as much of the work that I've been doing these past few months, I still fear making choices. Obviously, I've got these things that I need to like handle, do, and I'm like so petrified of making the choice because I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to disappoint anybody, myself, my family, my friends, my people that have invested in me. I don't want to screw them up. I don't want to make a bad choice that is going to negatively affect them. I, struggle with picking out a pair of pants. I struggle with buying shoes. I struggle with so many things, being in the wrong relationship, being in the right relationship, getting myself into contracts that I don't necessarily like, or that I compromise my true feelings for because there's something that I should do that someone said once that I heard that might get me to like point B, but it doesn't really fit very well. So all of these things I have such fear around because I've created this petrifying story of, if it doesn't go the way that you think it might go, then you fucked it up, and guess what? Consequences are horrible. Like, that's my mind. That's my mind for you. That's a little insight into like Akeisha's ego tantrum little girl. But I'm like trying to be this person that is easygoing and fun and relatable and doesn't have a stressful life, doesn't have to bust her butt and bend over backwards to get 2 centimeters ahead in life. I see myself being like easy and carefree, and things are just kind of flowing and opportunities are presenting themselves, and I make choices with ease and flow. But I have this ego behind me being like, yeah, you think you want to do that, and like as soon as you do that, like I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Like that's the voice inside my head that's like, yeah, great, Keisha, like go for it, but I'm going to like take you out at the knees. So I like asked him, I was like, how? How do I do this? And like law of attraction says you need to release the how. But you still need to take steps forward. And that's where it all clicked. Release the how, but still take steps forward. And I'm kind of realizing that I'm in a bit of a twist here with how I'm discussing this conversation. So releasing the how, but taking the steps. So I had this like breakthrough moment where I was like, whoa, okay, if I make a choice and it is like, I just like throw all the glitter at that choice and like take away the expectation of it having to be successful in someone's mind, right? Let's make a choice and then have confidence that that choice then causes a ripple effect of events to happen. Not consequences. I hate the word consequences. Like, yes, if you jump off a bridge and there's cement at the bottom of the bridge, your consequence is you're going to die. Like, 9 times out of 10, that's probably going to happen. If you jump off a tall building and you land on concrete, consequence is that you die. But I'm not dealing with life or death here. I'm not cutting someone open and not trying to cut their carotid artery. Like, I don't deal with life or death in my life. So, why am I putting life and death on my choices? So I had to be like, okay, I have a choice to make in everything and all that I do. So let's make a choice and let's trust that the events that occur because of that choice made, I can handle. They might not go in my favor, but guess what? It gives me another opportunity to make a choice and be confident that then I can handle the events that occur because of that choice made. Interesting. I was like, okay, I'm rocking with this. And then I realized, I was like, but how do I do that? Like, how do I shut the ego up? And then Gabrielle Bernstein, if you don't know her, she's an author, spiritual teacher, leader. She has an amazing book called The Universe Has Your Back. Also, Judgment Detox. 2 recommended reads for all you. They're beautiful. And her book, Universe Has Your Back, is all about love and leaning into love. And I said at the beginning of the video, in order to make the choices and trust that you're going to do things and it's all going to work in your favor, you just have to love. And, love yourself. Back to the whole, like, love yourself thing so that you can trust in everything that you're doing and you can have all the courage and the trust and the confidence and the worth that whatever you choose, you can handle whatever comes your way. So this whole like love, lean into love. And it sounds kind of like fairy airy, but it is honestly the simplest concept. But it is the one that's most resisted in our world and in ourselves. We resist love so much. And I am someone who resists love at every turn. Like it is something I'm constantly working on. But if I approach every choice with the love, simple love, just stating, I love the choice that I'm making, and I trust that I've made the right choice. Oh God, those words just make me have hives and make me want to like throw up. I'm going to rephrase that right now. I'm going to make a choice and I'm going to love that choice because I trust that the step that I've taken is going to yield events to happen that I'm going to then love again and choose at each step of the way. And I am certain, because I love myself and I love the choice that I made, that I trust whatever comes its way, I can handle, and I am certain that come the end result, it's all gonna work out. That end result literally might be 5 minutes from now when I decide to put avocado on my salad because I love avocado and I trust that it's going to be good to me and I'm certain that I'm going to love it. That choice just occurred in like 5 seconds, whereas choices such as getting into a contract because you trust that this job opportunity is going to give you more steps in order for you to make more choices in order to get to where you ultimately want to go. The certainty of that working out, or certainty of it may not working out, but that's okay because you know that you can handle whatever comes your way because you love yourself and you're gonna like love every choice that's presented to you. That your certainty might come in like a year from now. Like, I was so uncertain about myself 11 months ago when I had an emotional breakdown and decided that I needed to quit all my jobs and cut 98% of my income. Like, I was so uncertain about what the hell I was doing, but there was something that said, just do it. And I'm really glad I did because all of this has happened. And now knowing that all of this has happened, taking steps at this fork of the road, these multiple forks in the road that I have, I am certain, because I'm going to choose love at every single moment, that it's always going to work out. And to tie this all together, I recently had to make a decision for myself where I had to stop fighting my instincts, fighting my feelings, and I had to have a conversation that was so hard. It's so hard for me even to like just think that there's still more conversation around this, like personally, that I have to go through. And I will open up about this in like weeks to come and like months to come. But I had to make the decision to take the step forward in a direction. And it was one of those things in my cupboard that Martin was saying. He was like, you gotta just make a choice and trust it and love it. So I'm having this conversation and I'm starting to feel my heart tense up. I'm starting to feel my throat get clenchy and I start to like shake. And in the moment I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to lean into the love that Gabrielle preaches and that I know that will work. So I said to myself, true universe form of myself here. I asked myself, I was like, I said, how can I make this conversation the most loving conversation? And how can I just trust that it's all going to work out? And I said to myself, again, I choose to love the choice that I'm making because I trust that I'll be able to take a step forward, and I am certain that this choice that I'm making will yield amazing opportunities for everyone involved. So I said to myself in silence, feeling my heart rate come down, felt my throat relaxed, my shakiness went about, and I was able to have this conversation in a very calm manner. Still, it was very, very difficult, and it still like hurts because I will have to adjust an identity that I've attached to myself for a very long time. But I know that by simply making a choice, regardless of what the outcome is, like I don't know what the outcome is going to be in 6 months. Like I honestly don't. Regardless of what the outcome is, I chose to make a decision and to love myself for making that choice. And because I love myself to make that choice, I sit here today relaxed and calm and trust that everything that unfolds because I chose all the things that trickle from that, I know that I can handle because I'm going to be presented with something, a conversation, a backlash, an opportunity. Things are going to come my way because I made this choice. It's just what happens. You make a choice, actions occur, yeah? You know that science thing, to every action is there equal and opposite reaction? That actually doesn't make sense. You make a choice and things happen. You make another choice and more things happen. But you get to make choices on each of these things that happen. So I know that whatever happens is going to be amazing because I trust that it's going to be amazing, and I'm choosing that it's going to be amazing. And you can come back at me and be like, well, what if it like really fucks up? Well, that's your perception, and that's a whole other conversation. Perception of what is success and what isn't success, and what is your definition of the right way is all a perception. And that's another conversation. But I trust that, and I am choosing to only bring into my life amazing things for all parties involved. So, choices, I'm going to wrap it up. Choices don't have to be so scary. You don't have to worry about making the wrong choice, because you can decide to love yourself and love the choices that you're making, and you can decide that it's going to be okay. And you can decide that you can handle it all. If you've grown up like me and been bombarded with the words of consequences, negative results, you made the wrong choice, and you have developed a story for yourself that that's all you're ever going to get, and begun to fear making choices, simple ones and big ones. If you're anything like that, you can choose a different path. You can be confident and just keep telling yourself that you can handle all the things that come your way, because you're going to choose to love yourself for all the choices that you make, starting from now. So I hope that was easy to follow. I hope that was a little bit eye-opening. I hope I could give a little bit more perspective. And if this ever comes up for you, you find yourself in a choice to be made, and you're like, I don't know what to do, that this conversation comes back to you in your mind, and you're like, oh, right, I can love myself and make a loving choice and trust that it's all going to work out. If you want to stay more up to date with everything, you can just check out my website. All the things are there. Again, YouTube video dropping tomorrow or Friday. There's the episodes on, if you want a little bit more like specific in-depth into the emotional code, talkings that I was doing earlier in this conversation, that's on the Let Go Movement podcast. If you want a recap of the trip that I just went on, again, Let Go Movement podcast, episode 8 is all about the recap. And if you want to read the books that I'm learning these things and that I refer back to quite often, actually, Gabrielle Bernstein's books, Judgment Detox, I refer to that book all the time, and The Universe Has Your Back. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me. Audrey, so nice to hear someone talk so openly about the progress. Very relatable. Thanks, girl. Oh my gosh. It is open conversation was a word that I pulled in my deck of tarot cards. I pulled the octopus card, which was like super confusing for me, but it said to have like open talk therapy. So this is hopefully helping you. Jolia, hi Joe. I want to learn more. I want to learn better how to receive love. Also, something I've been thinking about a lot. I like these thoughts, my friend. Thanks, girl. Yeah, if you want to receive more love, start with like an affirmation that you deserve, receive, and give love every day. And every moment of your day, just ask, how can I love this moment even more? And you'll start to give love and receive it. And if you feel apprehensive to love, just be like, how can I let more love in, or just say to yourself, I choose to let this love in. And it's a simple thought, it's a simple sentence, but it is life-changing, girl. And if you want to talk further about this, let me know. I love you. Okay, Facebook peeps. Hey guys. Hi everybody. Doug. Hey Les. Selena. Hey, if you joined, don't worry. I'm going to keep this. You can go onto my Instagram and rewatch this video from the top. I'll post this on my YouTube video. It'll be a podcast episode probably next week. And obviously it's going to stay on my Facebook for if you want to recap. All about making choices, releasing the fear, letting go, trusting, and love yourself. Guys, love yourself. And on that note, and I swear it's the last note, go have fun today, let go of something, and remember, I love y'all.